Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to V6 Turbo Hybrids, the best show in the land, bringing you all your Formula One news and a little gossip here and there. Of course, expressing all our inner feelings and probably shit talking a couple of people. Just letting everybody know how we really feel about what's going on in the sport. Today on the agenda, there is Yuki's first days at Red Bull. We have who's back, who might come back onto the Formula One grid. We have Lando says that they're the best driver pairing on the Formula One grid currently, and the car isn't anything that's special. And finally, is Max Verstappen considering leaving Red Bull? All that on today's show. Buckle up, let's get it going. Now, there's been a lot of turmoil since the end of the Chinese Grand Prix. The initial situation was, the disqualification of the Scuderia. And then we're like, okay, cool. Now we just hold it down to the next Grand Prix. No, things took a sudden turn because Liam Lawson was struggling. And then we started to hear the rumor mill go off. Yuki is replacing Liam. Now we know Red Bull's been ruthless in terms of like replacing drivers, and like some drivers don't finish seasons, some drivers only run for like nine, some drivers get replaced mid-season. Like it's been chaos. The hardest working HR team in the Formula One business has to be Red Bull. Like that cursed second car has done in a lot of driver careers. Now, rumor turned into fact, and then Yuki was, of course, announced as the person who's going to step up to the senior seat in the Red Bull team. Okay, it was long overdue. We all knew this. Like, we all saw it. Putting Liam in the car first was a questionable thing, but it's not our team, so we were just like, okay, you guys make questionable decisions all the time. Okay? Now, Yuki's very excited. Yuki's very excited. You could see from all the interviews, Yuki has been saying that he's hoping he finishes on the podium. And Yuki, my boy, I wouldn't be so optimistic. Listen, a points finish is enough. Like, just put it in the points and don't try to antagonize the demons in the car, because a lot happens with the car and no one knows what the actual issue is. Speaking to Sky Sports F1 was Christian Horner, and he was asked about the decision. And in his words, he says, I'm paraphrasing here, he says that they promoted Liam Lawson a little too soon, the same way they promoted Alex Albon and Pierre Gasly. And that, Yuki has 4.5 years of experience. And if Yuki struggles, clearly it's the car, right? And then he was asked, so does that mean Yuki has, Yuki can have a long career at Red Bull? Christian gave a very cryptic answer to that. Very, very cryptic, and that's worrying. But we'll see. In my opinion, if I were Yuki, I'd move to Aston Martin because Fernando's a bit old and Honda's moving. Um, oh, Red Bull have a livery this weekend that's dedicated to Honda. It's going to be white and really, really nice. Um, there's a picture of the livery right here. It's an amazing, amazing livery. But I wouldn't bank on Red Bull keeping him. So if I were him, I'd be finding a new drive. But um, good luck, Yuki. Good luck. Oh, before we switch on to the next thing, uh, when Helmut Marko was asked why Yuki wasn't promoted to begin with, Red Bull's chief Crouch said that Adrian Newey is the one who didn't want Yuki to be promoted. Which is weird because why is the aero guy making driver decisions? Um, we all know Chief Crouch and Christian are the people who make these decisions. And this whole confuffle and mess falls down to the two of them. But anyway, I'm going to park it there. and we'll see how this weekend plays out. But good luck to Yuki Tsunoda. Anyway, so second part of this, who's coming back to the grid? Now we know from 2026 going onwards, a lot of changes are going to happen. The first one is Kick Sauber is going to change to Audi. Audi's entering the sport, but we're also going to have 11 teams instead of 10 on the grid because Cadillac is also joining the sport. Now that leaves two vacant seats on the grid. This is before the obvious kerfuffle that then happens with people's contracts ending and I don't know anything else that might happen within the sport. We know like whenever there's driver switch arounds, things get crazy. Last year was testament to this. Anyway, so it's been rumored that Sergio Perez is one of the top picks for the Cadillac seats, which would make sense. He's Mexican, has a lot of ties to the American community, and he's been a driver for a very long time. Knowing now that it wasn't him who was failing to drive the car, I guess a lot of teams then opened up to him and be like, okay, cool. So what can we do with you? Another big favorite might be Valtteri Bottas. He's still a very good driver. He did 5 years with Mercedes, had 10 wins, and staying 5 years against Lewis is that's an amazing stint. Like it's an amazing stint. Um, but I don't know if if they would just put him on or pair him upside like a younger driver. But I don't know. This it's a very gray area with Valtteri there. But he's been the reserve driver for Mercedes, and he seems to be to be really settled into that role. So we'll see how that turns out. Another choice that's been rumored to join Cadillac is going to be Colton Herta. He's an American driver. I know that's a relatively new name to a lot of you, but he's an American driver, and Cadillac being an American team, it would make sense that they pick him to put him in the Formula One car. Um, I don't know a lot about him. If anyone knows, comments below. Please let me know. But I will look him up, and we'll do a segment on this when the craziness starts. But I know a lot of you speculate that maybe Daniel Ricciardo might come back, but I highly doubt it because he seemed like he just wanted to leave the sport. And judging from what I saw in Drive to Survive, I don't see him coming back. But that's a very exciting thing, and those two seats are up for grabs. I'll keep you updated on how that goes. Moving on. Lando Norris is it's not the McLaren car that's making him fast. It's that they're the two best drivers on the grid currently. That they're the best driver pairing that there is. Moving on. Max Verstappen has been rumored to be unhappy about the driver switch, the demotion of Liam Lawson down to the Racing Bulls and the promotion of Yuki Tsunoda. Um, Again, Red Bull's chief grouch is the one who's rumored to have said this. Now, I'm not entirely sure why he'd be mad. It's a lot of drivers have come and go, and at this point, he's pretty much knows that he's gonna be the constant thing in Red Bull. Him and GP and the mechanics. That second car, it's like one of those, like those, when they're breaking in a horse, and it just bucks everybody off. That's what I envisioned the second Red Bull car as. But that aside, the rumor mill is spinning again, and there's talks of Max Verstappen moving to Mercedes. Now, in Formula One, rumors don't just come out of nowhere. I know Christian the last time he was said if Toto Wolff wants a Verstappen, he can probably get yours Verstappen. But amidst all the chaos that has happened within the Red Bull camp, I also based off of the interview that just a snippet I saw off of I think it was Sky Sports F1. Max Verstappen gave a very vague answer on whether or not he would stay with the team. I guess there is exit clauses in his contract that he can trigger. And listen, if you're Max Verstappen and you're on the drivers' market and you're free, a seat will free up. And I guess this is why they were asking George in Sky Sports F1 today whether or not he'd become like if he's gonna try to lock down a contract as quickly as possible. And he said he feels pretty confident that he will have a drive, and them locking down a contract would probably take like 24 hours between him and Toto. So it's gonna be a very interesting ride. Max leaves if Max were to leave Red Bull, what would be his options? Mercedes obviously has been quoting him or has quoted him before. I guess this is or was Toto's plan allegedly, and besides Mercedes, what other project would make sense for Max Verstappen, who would lose their seat? These are all very interesting questions, but begs to be seen. Anyway, that's our show for today. This has been V6 Turbo Hybrids. Thank you for coming and watching the show. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.